Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be prepping for you a vegetarian ceviche all the way from Peru. Now, in a typical Peruvian ceviche, you're going to find whitefish, some kind of sea bass, but we're going to be using artichoke hearts as our main protein. Okay, so I've got most of my ingredients here. I've got my hair put up into something resembling a ponytail to get it out of my way. Now, vegetarian ceviche is going to be pretty simple to make, minus the fish. We just have to have something that replaces it. Typically in a ceviche, you're gonna find a lot of citrus. I'm gonna be using lime. You can use anything from oranges to blood oranges to lemons, anything you want. Citrus is really, really important in a ceviche. You're gonna be using your citrus to cook the fish. That's what cooks your fish. Here we don't need to cook the artichokes per se because they're already cooked. I've got my beer in hand. That's my personal preference, but typically with a nice ceviche, you're gonna want like a white wine or a pisco sour, which is Peru's national cocktail, national drink. We're gonna be throwing in some fresh cilantro. I almost bought parsley at the store today. Very easy to confuse the two. We've got some tomatoes, onion sprouts. We're gonna make it look really pretty at the end. So I'm just gonna run through the ingredients with you guys. We've got our garlic. Garlic is super important. Anything you're watching on this channel is typically gonna have garlic. Forewarned. We've got some nice aromatics here. We've got our cilantro, we've got our ginger. We are not going to use this whole chunk, but it is important to get fresh ginger. We've got some radish to give it that sour taste. We've got our onion, of course our artichoke as our meaty fish. We've got some good quality oil. I've chosen to use avocado oil, again my personal preference. We've got some nice cucumber to give it that crunch, some tomato, a little more acidity, and we're going to finish it off with some sweet onion sprouts just to give it that really nice appearance. I'm gonna start off by chopping my garlic. Now, these bulbs of garlic are absolutely massive. They're from my garden, so I don't expect that people are gonna be finding this in your local grocery store. I'm using 2, but you should probably use 4. I'm not really big on my measurements just because it's not really how I like to cook. I know that a lot of people would probably disagree with me, but I'm more of a feel it, continually taste it, see how it is kind of gal. My favorite way to chop garlic for those that aren't super good at it. So make sure that your garlic is pretty finely chopped. I'm not too fussy. Some people don't like a mouthful of raw garlic, but I'm not too particular. So the whole trick to ceviche is that you're letting it sit in its own juices. Here we don't really need to do that just because everything is a vegetable. So I'm using this bowl to throw everything in. I'm kind of going to make the marinade before anything else, and then we're going to chop up all our veggies and toss them in there. So now I'm going to be chopping up my cilantro, which is pretty polarizing. A lot of people really hate it. A lot of people really, really like it. I personally really like it. I didn't always. One really important thing is you're going to want to first pick out any of the little brown bits. It can go brown really quickly. And then next you're just going to give it a really thorough wash just because there can be a lot of dirt in there. And you don't want to eat dirt. Some of you might. I don't. She's clean. She's clean. And now we dry. She's dry. She's so clean. Oh, look how pretty and clean. So we're going to give that a nice chop. If you're one of those people that thinks coriander tastes like soap, I would recommend you try it again just because your taste buds apparently change every 6 months. We're gonna throw it in with our garlic. Again, I'm not measuring. So we've got our garlic and our coriander in there. We're gonna add a nice drizzle of avocado oil. Don't be shy with the avocado oil. It's just not the time to be stingy. Next, we're going to throw in our lime. Use the juice of this entire lime. I chose it just because it's really familiar. Everybody seems to know and like it, but if you want to get wild, then you could probably use blood orange, like I said earlier. Grapefruit might be really nice as well. Get a little adventurous with it. Any citrus that you want. I'm just using this to make a more classic ceviche. Now we're juicing and squeezing and squeezing and juicing. If you see any seeds in there, just pick them out. A reamer is one of the few kitchen gadgets that I really do swear by because if you're just squeezing away, you're going to be so tired by the end of the cooking session, you're just not going to want to do anymore. It's going to get all the juice out of your limes. I would not have been able to get this by just squeezing them. So I'm going to throw the juice of the entire lime. Just going to give that a stir. Lots of garlic, lots of oil, lots of citrus. Oh yeah. So now I'm gonna put in my salt. I'm a big salt fan. Sometimes I tend to over salt if anything, so just be careful, add a little bit at a time. Put in what you like. Start with half a teaspoon and add. You can always add more salt, but you can't take it away. And taste all the way through. That's garlic. I'm gonna add pepper as well, about a half a teaspoon. What am I doing? Now, usually I do like to put in some green jalapenos, but since I don't have any on hand, I'm gonna use just some red chili flakes. But we do wanna get a little tiny bit of heat in there. And the longer you let chilies sit or cook, they're gonna intensify. So just be careful. Ugh. So I'm a big green onion fan. I like to put it in just about everything. Okay, we're popping that in our bowl. Next, we're moving on to ginger. It doesn't matter what order you do this in, to be honest. Now, you only want to use a piece of ginger about this big, depending on how much you like ginger. My mother puts too much ginger in just about everything, so I'm not as much of a fan of it in adulthood as many people are. Now, garlic, I don't mind little chunks of it. However, ginger, it's not nice biting into a big mouthful of it. So we do want to chop that pretty fine. So when you've got your ginger to almost a paste, then you can add it. So next we're chopping up some cherry tomatoes. These are so nice to have in your ceviche just because they're kind of sweet and they look so pretty. And of course, it gives you that nice acidic balance that you kind of need. So I'm kind of eyeballing it. Cut up as many tomatoes as you like. I'm doing about, I don't know, how many is this? 20, but it's completely up to you. Again, this is just my interpretation of a classic Peruvian dish. Anything that you want to throw in there within reason is going to be just as delightful. That can be anything from jicama. If you can't find jicama, an apple is a nice sort of substitute for that. You can throw in mushrooms. I've seen all kinds of ingredients go into a ceviche, and it usually always turns out fine. You add enough garlic and oil, anything's going to taste good. Give it a stir. You can just see how nice that's looking. So next we're chopping up this red onion. You're probably saying, but Bailey, we already have so many onions and garlic. Never enough. So I think for this batch, because I'm just doing a small batch just kind of for appetizers, I think I'm probably just going to do half an onion. For this one, I don't think I'm going to chop it into little cubes. I think I'm going to keep it into very, very thin strips, just so we get a different kind of mouthfeel and texture. My eyes. I'm so susceptible to onions. You saucy, saucy bastard. I didn't quite use all of the onion, though this was a very large red onion. Again, use your taste, see what looks and tastes good to you. I'm just gonna save this for a breakfast omelet tomorrow. Looking and smelling so good. Okay, next is my favorite part. We're gonna be throwing in some avocado. We're just gonna cut on the inside of the avocado to get it into nice little cubes that we can scoop out and put directly in. And you know what? I'm looking at it now and I've got so many rich, vinaigrous, acidic things. I think I'm gonna add one more avocado. Hey, Mumbo. Mumbo avocado. Hey, Mumbo. Radishes do have to be sliced really thinly to really look nice, and for me not be too bitter. It's a pretty strong flavor. So I'm just gonna very gently slice. So like I say, radishes are a really, really strong flavor. So I'm just gonna use 3 of them. Can you believe it? We're almost done. We're gonna cut up our cucumber. Make sure you really wash your cucumber. They put so many pesticides on these damn things. Better yet, just buy organic. Now these, I do want to take a little more time and cut them into nice squares. Oh my God, look how pretty. Now we're gonna use, I'd say, half of the cucumber. Again, this is just for appetizers. This is gonna serve, I don't know, what do you think? 10 people. Finally, I've got my chopped parts of palm here. We're gonna add those. We're gonna need a bigger bowl. Okay guys, so to finish this up, we're gonna take a large swig of our beverage and pray to the plating gods. So I've got some really nice fresh onion sprouts here, and they look really, really pretty on just about anything you put them on. So I'm gonna give you guys a nice look at that. Looking really thick and rich, colorful. If there's anything else you want to add, like I say, this is not the be all and end all of vegetarian ceviche recipes. This is just my take on it. So to plate it up, I'm just going to be using these little amuse-bouche spoons. Amuse-bouche spoons. These are great if you just want to give your guests a little nibble when they come in through the door for a teeny little plated appetizer. They're perfect. I'm just going to plate these up, top them with some greens, and I'll give you the finished look. You little bastard. 3 beautiful little amuse-bouche. I'm just going to top those off with some greens. I'm just going to show that to you guys there. So there you have it, guys. 3 Peruvian ceviche amuse-bouche, completely vegetarian and ready to eat. Great for entertaining or just to eat by your damn self. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Thank you for watching.